So here we have the primary source sort activity. And before we begin, let's go over some definitions of what a primary source actually is compared to a secondary source. These definitions are provided to us by the Library of Congress. And I'm just going to read straight off the page here. Primary sources are what we consider to be the raw materials of history. They are truly original documents and objects which were created at the time under study. And that part might seem a little curious, the time under study. And I think you'll realize what that means when I go through the first document analysis with you. Now, secondary sources are accounts or interpretations of events created by somebody without first-hand experience. So basically, some interpretation or rehashing or remix after an event happened. Now I'm going to look at this first picture. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to look at this first picture. And as you can see when I scroll down the page, there are 10 different images in this sort. And they are myriad things. There are pages from textbooks, a draft of a Langston Hughes poem, there are photographs and prints, web pages, all sorts of things. And I have the description of each one under the image. So it's a variety of documents, but they're all digitized images in a way. They're original documents that are scanned so that they can be provided to us online. Now I'm going to go back to this print of Columbus taking possession of the new country. I'm looking at this print, and here's where you bring your prior experiences and knowledge to an analysis. I know this is a print because, well, first of all, it doesn't look like a photograph. It absolutely looks like an artist-constructed piece. I also know that it would be impossible for it to be a photograph because photography was invented in the 19th century and Columbus discovered the Americas in the 15th century. Now I know that you know this, but I'm just modeling to you how I would model my thought process with my students, walking them through whatever the rationale might be, especially with our younger learners, who might need to be reminded how to bring prior knowledge to a new experience and think about this metacognitive process. So I know that this isn't a primary source document because, a primary source document, I should say, of Columbus taking possession of the new world, of the new country, because it's a picture that was made sometime after the fact, and I know that because on this print there's a production date somewhere down on the bottom, and I'm going to show you in a little bit how to click on the pictures to make them bigger or smaller. And on this picture, the date of creation, I think it's down here actually, is in Roman numerals, and it was created in the 1800s. So we know it's not an original document created at the time Columbus discovered the Americas. So I would say to myself, well, it's not a primary source document. But now, let's go back for 1 second to our definitions. The primary source documents are original documents and objects which were created at the time under study. Well, we know it wasn't created in the 1400s because it has a date that says it was created in the 1800s. But here we go with that created at the time under study piece. What if what we were studying was not the history of Columbus discovering the Americas and what actually happened then? But what if our study was about 19th century political or cultural views of people's perception of Columbus taking possession of the New World during this time period? Would this then be a primary source document? What if we were studying artists of the 19th century and we had an art history focus? Would this then be a primary source document? The answer is, it could be. So please keep these differences in mind as you go with your group through each of these items. And now I'm going to quickly show you how to edit your page. The images came out rather large on this wiki page, but what you can do is play with your scroll bar. You have one on the bottom and one over here on the side. I don't think you can see it in the screencast, but we're all used to that up and down scroll bar. But you also, when the images are really big, will have one on the bottom of a page. In order for you to put comments on the page or change the size of an image for you to look at it up close or smaller, you click on the Edit button right up here. Click on Edit. And what that's going to do is it's going to take this web page and open it up almost like a Word document so that you can actually type in it. And then when you're done typing, you would save your work, and then it's there for everybody to see. So I'm using Group 1's private space just as an example. And I'm going to use the Columbus photo as my example of what to do. So if you click on the photo, or I shouldn't say photo, I keep saying photo, it's image, sorry. Actually scrolled me all the way down the page, which it was not supposed to do. If you click on the image, I think I'm having a hard time doing it right now because I have a screencast going on it. But there will be a toolbar that shows up just on the bottom of your image, and it'll have like a plus and minus sign button where you can adjust the size of the image. And when you're ready to type in your comments, you can just, here's my little cursor, you can position your cursor. I'm hitting the enter button right now to give myself a little bit of typing space, and there's my blinking cursor. And here I could put in my comments for the group to look at. I think that this is a primary source doc because ... And then maybe to make it easy for my group, I'll just put my name in parentheses so that everyone knows who made the comment. And then I can go up and save it. I'll get rid of this before Group 1 goes in. So now it saves. We're not in edit mode anymore. You know, it's not grayed out. You don't see that word type of toolbar. So I'm going to scroll down and, oh yeah, there's my comment. And that's exactly what you can do as you go through this sort. And then again, you go back to your group leader, will go back to the whole group page and put in comments on behalf of the whole group, and then you can see what all the other groups think as well. So I hope you enjoy this activity. This is kind of the crux of what we're doing in week 1, in addition to watching those other screencasts and other small activities and the reflections that I had planned for you.